sexy is the...
Welcome to Raw is Jericho!
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Listen up, you blind slapnut.
If I can be serious for a minute.
This is the Flex Network. This is the Flex Network. Flex on them. Flex on everybody.
The real reason I came here tonight is because we are live!
We are NXT.
It's your time, folks! Sweet! A little bit of the bubbly.
The preceding announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
For life.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all the ages, it is Thursday. I know we're about a half hour a little late on the show for right now, but it is Thursday night. That means here on the Flex Network, we're talking wrestling. We talking WWE. We're talking AEW. We're talking NXT. We're talking wrestling in general here on the Flex Network with the Wrestling Weekend Review Show live and in living color on Facebook, on YouTube, and on the Twitter. I am the SnowMan. I'm here every week talking with you guys about wrestling and what has been going on in the world of this professional wrestling world. One sec. I just didn't want to cough with you guys while I'm doing my opening monologue. But yes, it's Thursday, guys. So come on in, drop a like, drop a comment if you want. We'll talk what's been going down in the world of wrestling. A lot of things been going on. We just got done with the Elimination Chamber this past Sunday. We had our first detour in the road to WrestleMania took place. And wow, didn't really see it coming, but to a point, if you watch the Chamber, you kind of may have saw something coming. We had Raw, we had SmackDown. We know half of the equation one half of the equation for the Royal Rumble winners for WrestleMania 37 in April. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We're talking AEW Dynamite. We're getting closer to the end of the Women's World Title Eliminator Tournament. We have 3 of the 4 final spots filled. We'll look ahead to AEW's Revolution as more people and more matches have been made. But yeah, just a lot of things in general we need to talk about this week. And to start off, I mean, normally I'll start off with the news. But I feel like this needs to be addressed because I feel like, with what happened at the Elimination Chamber, we'll talk. I'll mingle about what happened at Elimination Chamber. If you saw what happened at Elimination Chamber, is that following the Raw side of the Chamber match with Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton, and Sheamus. Actually, before I get too deep into that, with the Chamber, I was not 100% expecting it. Let's just realistically, let me say this. I was not 100% expecting this to happen, but while watching, you saw The Miz conjugate with the former U.S. champ, Bobby Lashley, and we're going to run down what happened at Elimination Chamber in a sec. You kind of had something in the mix of what's going to happen here. What is going on with this situation right now? And after the Elimination Chamber match on the Raw side, Drew comes out victorious. Bobby Lashley comes out, picks the bones clean of Drew, just thrashes him and takes him out. Out comes Miz, cashes in Money in the Bank contract under a minute, and we have a new WWE champion. Now, hold on one sec. Sorry about that. The Miz cashing in. For quite a while, I have been thinking that maybe Miz would be the first one to expire the contract, to hold on to the money in the Bank contract and hold all the way through till the next year's Money in the Bank, or at least hold on until WrestleMania for the second ultimate cash-in opportunity. Because you got to think, he has been holding on to that contract since October. Contract is for 1 year from Money in the Bank to Money in the Bank. You need to cash in before, or at least announce, hey, I want to cash in on this, cash this contract in at the next Money in the Bank pay-per-view. If it was, like a week before or a few days before, or actually a month or weeks before. That way, they can somehow say, okay, well, you're cashing in, you'll get your guaranteed title match at Money in the Bank, and we'll have a new one ready for the next year. Cool. But I figured that Miz was going to be either another failed attempt, which he should have already done back last year, before he was, thanks to Morrison inadvertently saying he's cashing it in for the Miz for TLC, make it a triple threat match. And yeah, it should have been the end of there. Money in the Bank contract gone. We don't have to worry about the Miz in any aspect on this road to WrestleMania except for Elimination Chamber. But thanks to powers to be, gave the contract back, and the Miz has the contract again. So I always thought that maybe Miz would be the one person who would not cash in, because he would think that, of course, winning in October would automatically reset it for him. He would think he would have all the way till Hell in a Cell, or better yet, he would just completely forget about it and just keep bragging and bragging and bragging. But cashes in at Elimination Chamber, is your new WWE champion, and is now starting to proclaim that he is the first ever 2-time Grand Slam champion. The first ever. I don't really think he is the first ever Grand Slam or 2-time Grand Slam champion. I don't think he is. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Grand Slam champion is, there is a checklist, an accolade. It's an accolade in the WWE, or even better yet in other wrestling companies, that you need to hold at least, it's a checklist. You got to check off, on the list. Holding titles. So hold their major title, their world title, holding the tag titles if they have one, and holding a secondary title. Or if you're someone who's grown up in the Attitude Era and remembers there was a third tier title that you needed to hold. So like Attitude Era, you had to be the WWE champion, at least, because this was established in 1997. So WWE champion, and then it got reversed, revised to, allow the world heavyweight title starting in 2002. So that's the major title. And then you need to hold on to a tag team title, either the WWE, F World Tag Team titles, or when the brands got split, it became the WWE Tag Team Championships, or the World Tag Team titles that were on Raw. So the WWE Tag Team titles were on SmackDown. The World Tag Team titles were on Raw. Okay. The secondary, of course, was the Intercontinental Championship. And then, of course, the third tier, the third title would be the European or the Hardcore title for those of us who were in the Attitude Era. And then once the European the hardcore title got pushed away in 2002, we didn't have a third one until we got the U.S. title. So you need to hold on to either, and that U.S. title brought into the secondary title with the Intercontinental title. So now you can hold on either U.S. or the Intercontinental, and that would be your secondary. So, and again, the Grand Slam title format had, apparently was revised in 2015 to fit the WWE, the Universal, the SmackDown, and the Raw title, tag team titles, the Intercontinental, U.S. title format. But we still recognize as, the original format as the WWE, the World Heavyweight, the WWE Championship, the World title, tag team titles, either brand, IC title, European, hardcore, or US. As long as you hold one of those titles and you've got a checklist, you've done it once, you hold on to it. You got it. So in the original format, you had Shawn Michaels, first Grand Slam champion ever to do it. Won the WWE title in 96. Won the World Tag Team titles in 94 with, Big Day, Cool Diesel, Wolfpack, Big Sexy Kevin Nash, for those of you who don't know. Held the IC title in 92. And then he won the European title as his final checklist to get the Grand Slam title. He won it in 97 right before Hell in a Cell, the first one at Bad Blood. But this was at one night only in the UK. I remember it because he faced British Bulldog. And they nearly caused a riot after what happened and Shawn Michaels winning because he was well not liked with the Hart Foundation and the fact that he's facing British Bulldog in Europe, in the UK. He gets screwed out of the title, and they're like, they just want to kill Shawn Michaels at that point. But nonetheless, okay. So Shawn Michaels, first ever Grand Slam champ. Triple H, his second one. World title in 99. Tag title in 01 with Austin. Power Trip, the two-man Power Trip. IC title 96 and the European title 97. He needed the tag team title to get the final checklist. Okay. And the list goes on. We had Kane, we had Jericho, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Booker, Jeff, JBL, Christian, and Big Show under the original format, as these guys have been, were in the 97 through to 2015 tier. So they're one of the originals, the original style. But under the revised edition, you've got Kurt Angle again. You can say that Kurt Angle's would be considered a two-timer, to say the least. I mean, be it. But actually, I'll get to that in a little bit because I want to debunkify what I'm about to say. But you got Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Edge, Big Show, Miz, Daniel Bryan, Jericho, Ambrose, Reigns, Orton, Seth, Jeff Hardy, Kofi, and Ray. That is your Grand Slam champion under the current version with WWE, Universal, Raw, SmackDown, IC, and US title. Now, with The Miz wanting to proclaim that he is the first ever two-time Grand Slam champion, there's no real weight to that, I would say. I'm not saying he's part of the two-time club. I'm saying that he's the first. Now he's probably not the first ever to do it. Because you got to think. Okay, Shawn Michaels got maybe take him out of the picture because he already won the WWE title, the World Tag Team titles, the Raw version, or that the WWF World Tag Team titles that became the Raw Tag Team titles, and then IC and European. Okay, Shawn only held two other major world titles in his time with the company. He held the World's Heavyweight title in 2002, and then he didn't win another. He won Raw Tag Team titles in 2009. So yeah, I can't really put him in the two-timers club. Okay, Hunter won the world. He got the first part. Same with Shawn. He won the world heavyweight title in 2002 and 2009 with Shawn Michaels for the Raw Tag Team titles. Can't really say that. Kane won world WWE title in 98, World Tag Team titles in 98, Hardcore title in 2001. And then his final one, the one that got on the checklist, was the IC title in 2001. After that, he only won the World Heavyweight title in 2010 and didn't hold on to another title until the next year for the Raw Tag Team titles with Big Show. He didn't win another Intercontinental Championship. He didn't win a U.S. title, so that's kind of 86'd him. Jericho would be the only one I would think would be the first one to do it, because let me be clear on this. First ever undisputed world champion. Okay, check. Won the Intercontinental Championship in 99, beating China at Armageddon. Won the European title from Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle in a triple threat match for both the Intercontinental and the European title. In the same, two titles, triple threat style, two matches all in one, two matches going on. First fall was for the European title. Second fall was for the Intercontinental title. Jericho won the European title in the first fall by beating Chris Benoit. Oh my God, I said the CB word, Chris Benoit. So got the European title. He has a hardcore title to his credit, so he can attach that. It would be the third tier along with the European title. In 2001. And then won World Tag Team titles in 2001 with Chris Benoit again. Okay, so there's the checklist right there. He's got the first part of it. Now, with Chris Jericho winning the World's Heavyweight title, so that's a restart. He's got tag team titles with Big Show. Okay, so there's two. Or he can even add Edge into the mix. He has Edge and Big Show. He's got the Intercontinental Championship again. There's the third. And he also has a U.S. title to his credit. So, in aspect, he can claim the first inaugural, I would say he would claim the first dual, two-time Grand Slam champion. Okay? So Miz cannot claim that. He's, sayonara. He's out of that list. Or he's not at the number one spot. Maybe number two. But I can literally, I can go through a whole list and just decide, go through and look at who got first. But I would think that Jericho has the best chance to say he's the first ever two-time Grand Slam champion. Because again, he didn't win the world title, or at least, he didn't win what would be considered the world heavyweight title until 2008. During his time with Shawn Michaels, if you remember, for those of you who don't remember, 2008, the championship scramble. CM Punk was supposed to be in it at Unforgiven in September. CM Punk was taken out by Randy Orton with the punt kick. Jericho was put in after his unsanctioned match with Shawn Michaels. He was beat to shreds. He ends up winning the world title in the championship scramble, the last ditch seconds of the match, becomes the official world champion, and then just goes on a several month reign Because I know he wrestled at No Mercy in Portland in a ladder match against Shawn Michaels, and I was there because it was an awesome No Mercy, because that was the last official regular interval yearly No Mercy before it went away to be changed into Hell in a Cell and brought back on a sporadic occasion. But it was still a damn good pay-per-view. Even when you got Metallica All Nightmare Long as the theme song for that event. Yes, I do know that event. I know matches, what went down and everything, because it was awesome. But moving on. So yeah, The Miz cannot say a word about being the first ever two-time Grand Slam champion. That is Chris Jericho's. He is or I'm pretty sure if I can go through and find others that have, that are either still going in the company right now or have been a part of the company and can say, I'm a two-time champion, a two-time Grand Slam champion. Because actually, you know what? I could probably, I could probably put Edge in that category. Actually, no, I can't. No, I can't, because he was never a U.S. champion. I mean, technically, he won a U.S. title in 2001 when it was still WCW's. He has the Intercontinental. He's had multiple lengthy Intercontinental championships. He's got SmackDown tag titles because it was the WWE tag team titles. He does have the Raw tag team titles with with Miz, or sorry, not Miz, with Jericho. And he's got the tag team titles with Rey Mysterio too. So that could cover that. And he's got a world title. So maybe Edge could possibly be put into that spectrum now of multiple time Grand Slam champions. Because Edge, actually, no. Actually, I want to take that back, because he never held a European. And I don't think he ever held the hardcore title. So he wouldn't fall in line with the first tier. I mean, he would fall on the aspect of the revised format. I mean, with the WWE title, but they took out the world title, the world heavyweight title. So again, I don't know. That's one of those things where you have to I'll probably have to come back to you on that one. But The Miz being a two-time Grand Slam champion, he could claim that if he wants to, but he's not the first. So move on past that. But we got other things we need to talk about, guys, because let's talk about the Elimination Chamber and what went down this past Sunday. We'll run down the card, what went down. Then we'll talk about what went down in the news in the wrestling world, because there's some big news coming out and some shocking news that went down yesterday. Move into the chamber itself with on the pre-show, we had a fatal four-way match to determine who would replace Keith Lee, as he is apparently out with injury. So he is not a part of the Triple Threat United States title match on the main pay-per-view show. We had John Morrison taking on Elias, Mustafa Ali with his Retribution brethren in tow, and Ricochet. It was a good match on the pre-show. I feel like, again, the cracks in the Retribution Foundation are starting to show. A lot of, not even show. They're getting very well exposed, and it's just not looking good for this group if they're supposed to be, the people are making changes and everything in the company, and they haven't done it that much. Just more like pay differences with Mustafa going after Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods because of what he was supposed to be in the chamber last year, and he got taken out because of injury. Kofi Kingston taking, his spot and going on to win, or no, actually not last year. It's 2 years ago. Sorry, 2 years ago at New York. And Kofi Mania running wild. all the way through to the first SmackDown Live on Fox in October. So yeah, a whole lot of bag of feelings right there with that whole thing with Mustafa. But yeah, John wants to be in the triple threat match for the U.S. title later in the card. We kick off the first match of the night with the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match, with the winner immediately getting a Universal title opportunity against Roman Reigns. Match was good. I really liked the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. It was so good. I feel like while SmackDown doesn't have that many matches on their cards a lot compared to Raw, I feel like they do a lot more in the aspect of wrestling and actually telling the stories and getting us hooked into these, situations. If you remember Clash of Champions, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso and everything going on forward with that. There are some hit and misses on SmackDown, and it's been very well documented on this show. But still, SmackDown can pull it out when they need to, and I feel like they did it with this chamber match. With Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, King Corbin, and Sami Zayn. The match was good. I liked it. It was one. I felt like that was a great Elimination Chamber match. On the aspect of you got great athletes in there. You got great wrestlers in there that can hold their own. Granted, King Corbin, I've still fallen out with, and Sami Zayn haven't had interest in, but truth be known, they pulled out all the stops in this. It was damn good. Of course, we didn't know who was going to be entering last, and we did know who was going to be entering first, as they had no set template for what was going to happen, unlike Raw, who we knew was going to be last in the chamber. So to see who came out out for the match with King Corbin, with King Corbin, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Jey Uso all being put in pods to start the match, and then to see Cesaro and then Daniel Bryan come out to start the match. That was damn good. I liked it. These two guys can go, and it was a damn good match with Daniel Bryan and Cesaro lasting for so long, lasting almost 35 minutes in this match, guys. This was a great way to kick off the show. King Corbin eliminated first, thanks to Cesaro and him tapping out. Sami Zayn gets eliminated thanks to his former best buddy, Kevin Owens, at the 25.5-minute mark. KO getting the boot from Jey Uso, eliminating him, and then Cesaro eliminated by Jey Uso. And then down to the last two, Jey versus Daniel Bryan. And unfortunately, this was a lose-lose situation, because yes, whoever won this match had the daunting task immediately following, and to face Roman Reigns in an impromptu world title match for the Universal title immediately following. So whoever won was going to get the short end of the stick, unless they had pulled out some form of a magic bullet and caught Roman in a submission or knocked him out with one hit, or someone came out and distract him. There was a lose-lose for whoever. But to either be Jey Uso or Daniel Bryan, I feel like it would have been a win had it, a win situation for Jey Uso to a point, because if Jey had won, that there would have been a lot of people saying that Jey Uso is going to lay down, is going to give Roman, easy competition. It's just going to lay down. But what if, you guys, what if Jey Uso had that moment back? We had that Jey Uso from Clash of Champions, from Hell in a Cell, that realized that, wait, it's WrestleMania season, guys. It's like, do I really lay down for the head of the table when WrestleMania is this close away? We are 2 months away from WrestleMania, under 2 months now. And the only stop left on this trip is Fastlane. Do I really want to, as much as I have to follow Roman Reigns and, acknowledge he's the tribal chief, but do I have, if I have an opportunity to headline WrestleMania with the potential to main event a WrestleMania as champion, do I really want to lay down for the tribal chief? If I would have won, if Jey Uso would have won the Elimination Chamber, do you really think that would have happened? I think that maybe Jey Uso has that moment of relapse and we get the Jey Uso who is fighting his cousin and wanting to be WWE Universal Champion. And just to say, I beat the big dog when he least expected it, and now I have an opportunity to go to WrestleMania as a headline, with the potential to be the main event, because Edge is still yet to decide who he's going to face and for what title. So I really think that if Jey Uso would have won that chamber match, that would have been a lot of things going on right there. Like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? Lay down and surrender an opportunity to headline / main event WrestleMania? Or do I fight, have a potential to win, lose, piss off Roman, or, fight and beat the big dog? Because Jey seemed a lot more fresher, compared to Daniel Bryan, who lasted the entire chamber match at 34 minutes. He lasted the entire. So Daniel Bryan, unfortunately, he won, but he also lost in the process, because now he faces Roman Reigns immediately following. And damn it to hell, Daniel Bryan put on it. Almost had the magic bullet right there, locking in the yes lock and trying to keep Roman Reigns down. But of course, Roman just came back and bashed him, thrashed him, and passed him out. As he wins by technical submission. Daniel Bryan's knocked out, cold with the choke, or the guillotine choke, and yep, Roman's still your Universal Champion. But immediately following, we get the surprise, because in comes Edge, spears Roman, the payback from SmackDown, and we're going to town, because it is official that we now know that at WrestleMania 37, I don't know if it's going to be a Saturday or if it's going to be on the Sunday part of the card, but we will have a Universal Championship match between Edge and the Universal Champion. Now, I'm not going to say Roman yet. I'm going to wait till after Fastlane, because, again, guys, we have one more stop on this road to WrestleMania, and that is Fastlane. We are going to be talking about that in the coming weeks as we get closer to Fastlane, so we can get on take this last exit before we head straight to WrestleMania in April. So yeah, we now know that Universal Championship is what Edge is going to go after. It may not be Roman, who he faces at WrestleMania. We still have to get through Fastlane and the next 40 some days before that is set in stone. Next up on the card was we had the triple threat match for the or the United States title. Riddle, Bobby Lashley, and John Morrison. This was a good match, guys. I mean, granted, unfortunately for Keith Lee, he wasn't a part of it. I think that could have been better. But to see that Bobby Lashley was not even a factor in the decision as Matt Riddle pins John Morrison, and Riddle becomes your new United States champion of the world, and Lashley is pissed off, guys. Matt Riddle wins his first main roster championship, actually his first title in the WWE, as his first title is the United States title. That is congratulations for him. The women's tag team titles up for grabs. Jax and Shayna Baszler defending against Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. And it was an okay match. I will give it that. It was an okay match. We had the sommelier, Reginald, come out, giving the bottle to Sasha. Is like, no, I don't want to win the titles this way. Thinking she was gonna, she was gonna bash, or Reginald was gonna, come out and screw Bianca and Banks. But it's like, well, if you've been watching with Reginald, it's like, dude, Carmella, your boy's jumping ship here. It's like, you're what's up with your guy, Reginald? He's now being buddy with Bianca and Sasha. What's going on? I thought he was supposed to be with you, being your sommelier, your wine, little buddy. And yet he's over here getting cozy with Bianca and Sasha, six woman tag this past week. Or actually, I can't even say 6 woman. It was more of a 5 women and a man tag team match this past week on SmackDown. We'll talk about that in a few. Actually, no, not really, because again, SmackDown. But again, I don't know what's going on with that whole aspect of it. It's like, is Reginald trying to be buddy to like sucker them in to get Carmella into the title picture again? And surprise, something happens, or is this just, I don't know what's going on with that. Jax and Baszler retain their Raw women. Or sorry, I can't say Raw or SmackDown. It's their women's tag team titles. They're looking to be defending them upcoming, and we'll talk about that in a little bit with NXT. Tag team, and then we go straight into the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE title. Of course, Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton, and Sheamus. And I don't know what it was, but I feel like the Raw Chamber was okay. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like the Chamber, it's the whole pay-per-view itself was okay on its own. Not something I would, want to go back and watch every match, to say the least. Maybe the SmackDown one, because that was the best match of the night. But I feel like the Raw Chamber, granted, we knew that this was for the WWE title. We knew that Sheamus was going to be the last person entered into the chamber. But while it was good, okay, it's okay / good, there were still some good moments in that chamber match. Almost ripping off the plexiglass of AJ's chamber when just ripping it off and trying to get sneak in and like, wait, what are you? Oh, okay, not gonna go into that. It's like sneaking in, getting into the chamber to pin the other opponents that were knocked down with the RKO, thanks to Randy Orton getting eliminated. And other than that, there was, it was okay at least. Of course, Jeff Hardy first in the chamber. I mean, we had Orton and Jeff Hardy start out the chamber match. Drew came in first. We had Kofi coming second, AJ technically third, and then the last person in the chamber was Sheamus as he won the gauntlet match on Raw. But again, it was an okay match. Drew McIntyre picks up the victory, beats AJ Styles, retains, and I want to say that I was sitting on my, sitting watching this pay-per-view, and I knew something. It was like, okay, Drew, it's good to celebrate, but you kind of need, to grab the title, be like, yay, win, and start getting out of Dodge quick. Because and I always even say that to Roman and be like, okay, Ro, you could celebrate a little bit, but you still got the Fizz, you still got the Money in the Bank contract to deal with on this road to WrestleMania. I mean, this is literally prime opportunity time for any WWE champion or Universal champion to get picked off. Granted, I wouldn't think it would have been, with the Universal title because, of course, it was a 2-minute match with Roman, but I figured that WWE title was going to be the one in danger. And of course, I was right. Bobby Lashley comes out, takes out Drew McIntyre. Out comes Miz, cashes in. We have a new champion. And The Miz is your new WWE champion. So that was the Elimination Chamber. Of course, the Raw Women's title match did not happen because Lacey Evans is unable to compete. She is technically now gone for the foreseeable future as she is going to be carrying a child. So long, farewell. And that's it. That's all I got for the time being because, again, Lacey Evans, who at the moment, who cares? But yeah, go have a safe pregnancy and wish you well with the birth of your second child. So let's quickly get into the news quickly because I know I said I was going to talk about that after the chamber. After my rant with The Miz trying to proclaim himself be a the first ever two-time Grand Slam champ. But yeah, let's get quick through the news. The big story of the week, because for the foreseeable future, we're not going to be hearing this particular track. It just feels so wrong that we're not going to be hearing this anymore for the foreseeable future, and I'm sad. Actually, I have to find the right one. All right. Just come on, mouse. Get into the right spot. I don't know why it's. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, we're not going to be hearing this.
Well, it's a big show. Oh, it's a big bad show tonight. Oh, baby, come on.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Big Show is no longer with the WWE. He is officially All Elite. Paul White is now with the AEW wrestling promotion as a commentator for AEW Dark Elevation on Mondays, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. Go and check that out with Tony Schiavone as his commentator partner. And as a wrestler, as he still has, saying he still has a lot to give the wrestling. So, yeah, Paul White is now All Elite. The big news came out yesterday as he is now no longer with the WWE. The output has been that it's because WWE wanted to give him a Legends contract, and the contract itself in the price range was not where his last contract was, as an active wrestler. and so they couldn't come to a financial agreement, if you want to say, and that led to, of course, Big Show not resigning, and they silently moved, put him in the Legends or aspect of the WWE online on WWE Network, or sorry, not WWE Network, but on the WWE site. And they didn't announce his left or whatnot, just quietly moved him over. And so I guess he is now officially with the AEW as a commentator and talent now. So congratulations to the Big Show on his new job. Wish him well at AEW for for the foreseeable future. Hope to see what he's going to bring to that company. But I know I'm going to get on another rant here because I'm now thinking about this, but is it just me? And you can leave your comments down, on our Facebook and our YouTube, and we'll look through it and everything, or even on Twitter. But is it just me, or is AEW starting to look and feel like WCW in the early days? And I'm not talking about like the NWA WCW days. I'm not talking about that days. I'm talking about Monday Night War days. Think about it. First night of WCW Nitro, you got Lex Luger joining the company. You already had Hulk Hogan on the company. Granted, he was from WWE or WWF on the as part of the company. So you had Hulk Hogan, you had Lex Luger join. Then not too long after that, you had Scott Hall, Kevin Nash join the company. Trying to think of who else at that time was from up north, from Greenwich, from WWE coming down to join the company. Bret Hart, Rick Rude, Bret Hart, Perfect. Just a lot of people that came from WWE going to the rival company, and then, or vice versa, Jericho going to WWE. But anyhow, I'm starting to feel like right now that at least since since AEW's been in the fold, we've seen a lot of WWE talent go to AEW. Mox, Big Show, Sting. Oh, I'm like blanking on a couple others. Jericho. Jake Hager. Technically he wasn't. But he's still viewed as a WWE talent to a point because he was in WWE beforehand. Mad Hardy, Taz, Jake the Snake Roberts, Arn Anderson, Miro, the Exalted One. It's so gonna bother me in the head to like. It's not. Oh God, it's gonna bother me. It's so gonna bother me. Is that Jay White? I know it's the Exalted One. It is. We moved. Oh yeah, now I remember. Where is it? I'm trying to like find it back in my notes. It was before. Oh, come on. I swear I had it in my notes from like it was several weeks ago. You know when you find when you have notes and you're like, okay, trying to remember exactly when. Oh no. And you're trying to like find where it was at. But you can't find it. That's the thing. That's night one. I feel like again. I oh yeah, Brody Lee. Oh my god. But Brody Lee. It's it's one of those things where you know who it is, but you can't remember. But yeah, Brody Lee. But a lot of people now leaving WWE to go to AEW. It's the vice versa, where you see the big names from WWE go over to AEW, or vice versa, WWE going to WCW. I'm just starting to feel like it's really starting to become that trend now, where AEW is the WCW. But unlike WCW in the past, I feel like this is like 98, 98, 97, 98 WCW, where they are on fire to the point they're beating WWE in ratings and in just in that aspect, because they're doing a lot better stuff, and it really helps the fact that they're doing this talent exchange, talent spread out on Impact, New Japan, and it's just opening up so many doors here that talent from Impact's going to AEW. AEW is going to Impact. New Japan's coming to AEW. AEW is going to Impact, or AEW is going to New Japan. So this is just a crazy time to be a wrestling fan, especially if you're an AEW fan. But again, I just have that feeling, seeing the talent that's leaving to go to AEW and vice versa. Or not vice versa, because you don't see AEW talent going to NXT or to AEW or WWE at the moment. But that's just my thought. So yeah. Back to news quickly. So yeah, Paul White's now with AEW. Heath Miller, aka Heath Slater, for those of you who remember him in WWE, he's going to be out for a few weeks, or he's going to be out for or actually he's been out for a while, since October. He'll be going under the knife for a hernia surgery in a few weeks in March. A sports hernia on the left side of his pubic bone. Another hernia on his right side. His abductor muscle is ripped off the bone, and he's got a rip in his abdomen wall on both sides. So yeah, he's got a laundry list of injuries that he needs to address before he can come back. Wish him a speedy recovery, because the man, he's got kids he's got to feed. I have kids. An update on Conan. He is out of the hospital and he is doing better. If you remember, he was out. He was in the hospital with kidneys issues and COVID, but apparently he is now out. Checked out of the hospital, and he's doing a lot better. Another injury that's coming out, or actually a couple more injuries. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Tanahashi is vacating the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title due to an injury with his torn pec, and he is going to be out 6 months. So it's unfortunate. After winning it at Wrestle Kingdom and going through 2 matches in 2 nights, with on the first night having to face the Super Junior winner, El Phantasmo. Yeah, if I can get back. Yeah, I have my notes right here. This time around. Beating El Phantasmo on night 1, and then night 2, winning the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title, beating beating Taiji Ishimura, aka Bone Soldier. And unfortunately he's gonna miss 6 months due to injury. So hopefully he is resting, and hopefully he gets back soon. After his torn pec injury is all healed up. And then NXT side, Kyle O'Reilly is going to be out for a month, 4 to 6 weeks, thanks to his attack from Adam Cole. I can't even finish that part because it's so sad. He's going to be out for a month. Hopefully, and this is going to lead. I will guarantee you this. This is going to lead directly into WrestleMania season with Takeover Tampa Bay. Oh, I can't wait. That's going to be great. And then, of course, Sting on the other side is medically cleared for the first time since 2015 when he had been diagnosed with spinal stenosis from his match with Seth Rollins back at Night of Champions for the WWE title at 2015. So, but he is medically cleared to wrestle in AEW, and he will have his first match back at Revolution on March 7th. But that's enough with the news. Let's go run down what went down on Raw this past week, the first show after the Chamber and on the road to Fastlane in March, the 21st of March. Let's get on over here to Raw. Matt Riddle taking on John Morrison, one-on-one action. Riddle picks up the victory over Morrison in a good match. New Day taking on Retribution in tag team action is okay. New Day picks up the victory. Hurt Business taking on Lucha House Party. Hurt Business picking up the victory. Damian Priest beats Bad Bunny. Now, I'm not going to get into anything with that because it is just kind of comical and everything, with especially with Bad Bunny being the 24/7 champion and Damian Priest beating Bad Bunny. Yeah, I literally got nothing for that one because again, kind of funny. Let's just move that to the side. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax taking on Charlotte and Asuka. Asuka losing a tooth in this match, thanks to Shayna Baszler. Nice little kick to the face, unfortunately. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax looking strong, beating Charlotte and Asuka. Looking strong ahead of their women's tag team title match coming up next week on NXT TV. Sheamus taking on Jeff Hardy in one-on-one action. Sheamus picking up the victory, looking to get back on track after the Chamber. Naomi and Lana taking on Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. Naomi and Lana picking up the victory as they're looking strong for a future world tag team or women's tag team title opportunity. AJ Styles taking on Ricochet in one-on-one action. This pairing right here, AJ Styles taking on Ricochet, has some good moments, and I feel like if they were given a lot more time, like a pay-per-view setting, a real build for this, and maybe even put a title on the line or something, I feel like they could steal the show, guys. I feel like they could. I don't care if it's AJ Styles holding on to a title or Ricochet holding the title. Make that happen to where these two can go at it on a pay-per-view setting with amount of time, and you're going to get magic with these guys. I feel it. But unfortunately, AJ Styles picks up the victory in this match on Raw, and then in a one-on-one match with big implications for next Monday night, Lashley taking on Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman wins. He gets added to the WWE Championship match made next week, and it becomes a triple threat match between The Miz and Lashley. And if Braun Strowman won, it would have been a triple threat match. I was intrigued. I mean, you gotta think Lashley taking on Braun Strowman. That's I can't wait to see what they're gonna do. But it's one of those like, okay, something's gotta give here. I mean, you got the monster train right there. Braun Strowman taking on the CEO of the Hurt Business, Bobby Lashley, and Lashley and Strowman. I gotta say, it was a great match. I would let me rephrase that. It was a good match. Uh, could have been a lot better. Could have been a little bit more enjoyable, but with it being main event of Raw and just how compact it felt, it kind of fell short for me, but it still was good. Lashley picks up the victory on Braun Strowman. So it will be a one-on-one opportunity next week. No triple threat match, as The Miz will take on Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship, thanks to his deal with the devil, I would say, at the Elimination Chamber to allow The Miz to become champion. That was Raw for the week. Let's head on over to NXT quickly. Recap what went down over there. NXT, again, I keep saying this, it is always the best, one of the best shows of the week that I love to watch. Dexter Lumis taking on Johnny Gargano, and everything that's going on with the Way right now, with Austin Theory getting chloroformed and then just, I'd say, memory just wiped away and acting all goofy-ish, saying, "I'm okay, man." It's like, yeah, I'm okay. It's like, and acting funny, not like acting all serious. Johnny telling him, "Hey, I got a knee injury." It's like, check him, hit Dexter with the chair. Oh, I got a knee problem. Check on my knee. Hit him with the chair. And Austin's just like, I don't want to hit him with the chair. And Indy Hartwell, mesmerized by him, is like, he's kind of cute. It's like, it's just pure entertainment with these guys right now. Dexter Lumis picks up the victory on Johnny thanks to the straitjacket submission and putting him to sleep. Yeah. Soft Johnny, just pet his head like he's a kitty. Just go to sleep, my young child. Just go to sleep. After the match, when they're leaving, I guess, everything was, I think he's okay. He's just a misunderstood guy. And Indy's like, he's kind of cute. It's like, okay, both Austin, you're going to the therapy. He drugged you. He chloroformed you. He kidnapped you. You're going to therapy, man. I love it. It's fun. We didn't get a match between Tyler Rust and Leon Ruff, as Ruff was attacked by Isaiah Swerve Scott. So we didn't get a match out of that one. Women's champ Io Shirai taking on Zoe Stark. This was a great match right here. This is a great match in the women's division. Io Shirai beats Zoe Stark in Zoe Stark's second one-on-one competition here in NXT. But we do know that the women's title will be on the up for grabs in 2 weeks, with Io Shirai defending against Toni Storm. That should be great in 2 weeks, guys. Don't forget to check that out. Xia Li taking on Casey Catanero. Xia Li picks up the victory via ref's discretion after Xia Li just, I guess, snaps, crackles, and pops Casey's leg out, from the ring steps and everything. Just, I guess, broken leg if you want to go with that route. Gotta get some more. Grizzled Young Vets in tag team action against Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. It's a great tag team match. I'll give it that. It was a great tag team match. The Grizzled Young Vets pick up the victory. And then main event, no disqualification matchup between the interim cruiserweight champion Santos Escobar and Karrion Kross. They tore the house down. Kross literally been thrown everything with Legado del Fantasma, but it still wasn't enough. Karrion Kross picks up the victory in a barn burner of a no disqualification. I'm still surprised that the Capitol Wrestling Center is still standing after that match. But and then of course we found out, we actually not really found out the reasoning why, but with the Undisputed Era, with Adam Cole taking out his brother in the Undisputed Era with Kyle O'Reilly, it just more problems, and I guess anyone can count. As Adam Cole suckered us all in, thinking he's sorry about he's focused back on the NXT title, and that he's just upset that Kyle O'Reilly was getting all the had 2 world title opportunities and failed, and that he needs to fix this, and that Roderick Strong just comes out. It's like, hey, I don't know if I could stop what Kyle O'Reilly is going to do to you. I don't know what's going on with you, but you broke this trust because Undisputed Era, it was the thing, and you caused this distrust. And Finn Balor just comes out, attacks both, or well, mainly Adam Cole. Roddy comes back. It's like, pull him off. It's like, he's still my brother. He gets attacked. Adam Cole attacks Finn, and just calamity and chaos. And yeah, we feel like we're gonna get that feel good moment, like with Undisputed Era, like, okay, we're still together, but brothers and everything. And Adam Cole just slow blows, and that's when you knew the Undisputed Era is officially done. And it's sad. This was a group that held the world. They ran this world, guys. Unfortunately, I hate to say it. They ran NXT like it was their own personal bank account. They ran roughshod. They held every title at one time. They held the world tag titles, or the tag team titles, the North American title, and the NXT title. They ran it. But now we're going to get that. Well, and I think the fact is we were supposed to get this whole moment of the betrayal like a while ago, around the first time that Kyle O'Reilly was getting the title shot, because it just felt like if Adam Cole was not the world champion, and if anybody else in Undisputed Era tried to go for that world title, you knew Adam Cole was not gonna like it that much. It was like, okay, it's we've been working good with the whole I'm the top man, I'm the one that goes for the world title, everybody else, if you want to go for the North American title or the tag team titles, that's great. But again, I just can't wait for it. It's going to be great when it comes time for WrestleMania season, when we get to April. Well, after March, in the middle of March / April. But yeah, that was NXT. So again, we do know that next week we're going to get the women's tag team title match between Jax and Baszler, taking on the winners of the Dusty Rhodes Women's Tag Team Classic in Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. And then in 2 weeks' time, it will be an NXT women's title match between Io Shirai and Toni Storm. 2 straight weeks of can't miss women's action. That is going to be awesome to see. Dynamite, quickly head on over to that, talk about that for a short little bit. Mox taking on Ryan Nemeth. Mox picking up the victory. Tag team action between Brian Cage and Ricky Starks taking on the Varsity Blondes. Cage and Starks picking up the victory. Hager taking on Brandon Cutler. Jake Hager picking up the victory in that match. Hangman Page beating Isaiah Cassidy. Nia Rose moving on in the women's eliminator tournament, beating Britt Baker in the semifinals. She will meet the winner of Thunder Rosa versus Rio in the finals of the U.S. side of the bracket. We also know the final side of the Japan bracket, as it will be Yuka Sakizi. Okay, name butcher approacheth in the world, guys. Here welcome to the name butcher part of the show. Yuka Saki, and then Rio Mizunumi. I got that one. That was a good one. I feel like that was a good one. That's the final side of the Japan bracket. The winner of that will move to the finals. Of course, we'll meet the winner of the U.S. side. Winner of that final match will go on to Revolution to face the women's world champion, Haruka Shida, in a one-on-one match. And we'll talk about that in a short little bit. Lance Archer taking on Rey Fenix to qualify for the Face of the Revolution ladder match. That was a great match. And Dynamite this week was good. It was a good Dynamite, setting things up for Revolution with the Young Bucks and the tag team title defense with MJF and Jericho. The exploding barbed wire death match. I literally cannot wait for that. For the world title, it's going to be awesome. So let's just run down the card. What we know for Revolution: Young Bucks, Inner Circle, tag team titles up for grabs. We have Team Taz taking on Darby Allin and Sting in a street fight. Haruka Shida facing the winner of the Women's World Championship Eliminator Tournament. In a big money match, we got Adam Hangman Page taking on Matt Hardy. Winner receives the losers 2021 first quarter earnings. Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Sky, Penta El Zero. I just call him Pentagon Jr. Penta El Zero Midiro, Lance Archer and Preston Vance, or Max Caster, and a to be named opponent in a Face of the Revolution ladder match for a future TNT World Title. TNT Championship match. The world title's up for grabs in the exploding barbed wire death match. Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. We got a tag team match between Miro and Kip Sabian taking on best friends of Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. And then a casino battle royal for a future AEW World Tag Team title opportunity with Bear Country taking on Dark Order. Two different squads of Dark Order. Alex Reynolds and John Silver. And then Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. We got Inner Circle's Santana and Ortiz, The Butcher and the Blade, Private Party, and Top Flight, and then another to be determined later team in a battle royal. That Revolution card looks stacked, guys. I cannot wait for it. But yeah, again, Dynamite this week was really good. I really liked it. Setting things up for Revolution, and it's gonna look great, guys. But yeah, and then of course, that's gonna be it for me, guys. I got nothing left in the tank for you guys again, guys. I got nothing left. It has been a long week, guys, with wrestling, but whew, I think we gotta take a break now. But yeah, let's let me get through some house cleaning, and then we can cruise on out of here for the week. Be sure you guys are liking, subscribing, following, retweeting everything we do here on the Flex Network. Like and subscribe on our Facebook page, on our Twitter pages, on our YouTube pages. For Twitter, you can follow us at Flex Network 1 for your football and fantasy football needs. At MMA Evergreen for your MMA and UFC content. And then, of course, you guys should be following us and liking us at the FlexNet _PW Elite here on the for our Twitter page. You should also be liking and subscribing to and sharing our YouTube pages. Just search Flex Network and Flex Network Wrestling for those pages. We are on podcasts, on all the podcasts, the major podcasts. But if, of course, we're not on somewhere where you listen to, let us know. We'll get there and we will bring you the content we love to bring here on the Flex Network: football, wrestling, and MMA and fighting. But that, of course, is going to be it for me, guys. I will be back next Thursday for another edition of the Wrestling Weekend Review Show here, talking about wrestling and we still got a long road ahead of us between now and WrestleMania, guys. We got a short road before we hit Revolution coming up on March 7th. Actually, we're a week from Sunday. We are 1 week from Sunday away from Revolution. So this AEW Revolution is coming up fast, guys. But I know next week we'll talk about what went down at New Japan's IWGP US Heavyweight Title match with Mox and Kenta, as that's supposed to take place technically tomorrow morning for us here on the West Coast. Later tonight / tomorrow morning. So again, we'll look back at it, we'll talk about it. But that is going to be it for me, guys. I am the SnowMan. I will see you guys next week. So peace out.
This has been the Pro Wrestling Weekend Review Show.
We got some fellow Canadians.
But when you're from Calgary,
Where's that?
Alberta, Canada,
A one-way first-class ticket to Larryland.
What is it with you folks coming to Florida? Stay in your own country.
This is the Flex Network. This is the Flex Network. Flex on them. Flex on everybody. Right here.
Why me? Why me? Why me?
don't blame Canada, blame yourself.
Feels like showtime every minute to me. I can't help it.
No. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Ta-ta for now. We're out of time. Good night on Nitro.
The preceding announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Well, you're welcome, Jurassic.